For more about all of this, we are joined once again by one of our regulars. He is Roben Farzad. He is a senior writer and columnist for BusinessWeek. Welcome back.
Thank you, Martin.
The economic news from not just the U.S., but around the world it seems to get worse and worse. Is that the way you see it?
It is bad, and we got a terrible jobs report here in the United States today. Unemployment is just under 8%. You're talking about an economy that's more used to 5 or 4% unemployment, so there's really no end in sight at this point.
When and how do we bottom out?
Right now, the hope, people are trying to hang their hats on this idea of massive amounts of fiscal stimulus. We've already seen it on the monetary side. Central banks coordinating to just slash interest rates, hoping that banks start lending again. That hasn't worked, so the other lever, fiscal stimulus, is being pulled like crazy. You're seeing it in Washington with the Obama administration pounding the table on its nearly $1 trillion package. It's going to go into public works projects, infrastructure. The problem is, if you look at other examples from other international meltdowns.
I was going to bring this up.
Are you going to get bang for your buck?
Right. The New York Times has an article talking about what happened in Japan, and they said they had a huge economic stimulus program that they implemented in the late 80s and 90s. Didn't work.
Well, of course, Japan is not an apples-to-apples comparison with the United States, but I think what can be learned and gleaned from policymakers and economists there is that the blunt instrument of just spending on any project, I've never met a monorail or a high-speed transit line or a bridge or an aquarium or a public park that I didn't like, that's been cold comfort for rank-and-file Japanese, many whom are still not very gainfully employed. The country is kind of toggled between outright recession and very slow trotting growth for the better part of 20 years. And now critics in Japan are stepping back and saying, should we have spent that money on human resources, on educating people, on retooling the economy that would have given you longer term bang for your yen, not these ephemeral kind of pork-laden projects?
Well, I want to bring up another subject here. Why are some Asian areas, not Japan obviously, but some Asian countries in Latin America seem to be faring better than we are?
Look, it's really bad in the United States. What's paradoxical is that really a decade after the emerging market contagion meltdowns across Latin America and Asia and the rest of the developing world, the tables have truly turned, and now these have become the relative pockets of strength in the United States, and developed Europe have become kind of subprime central. So it's an interesting work in progress and an experiment to see if the other side, the former fiscal basket cases, can now take care of the more developed world.
Roben Farzad, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin.